Hello and welcome to the GM overview for the Stolen Fate Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. For those new here, I have a two-step process for covering adventures. This first video will be fairly objective and avoid excessive spoilers, but I do recommend that prospective players not watch any further. Instead, I recommend you download and read the Stolen Fate Player's Guide that's linked in the description. And I will also produce a second video after this one that is less objective and shares my take on the campaign. Stolen Fate is a 3-book adventure path that takes players from 11th to 20th level. The major themes of the campaign include artifact hunting, divination, fate versus freedom, globetrotting, and harrowing. And this adventure path introduces harrowing, the harrower archetype, and the Harrow bloodline. For those not familiar with the concept of harrowing, this is a name given to Pathfinder's version of a tarot reading. Like with tarot, a harrowing uses a special deck of cards to try and divine a person's fate. I say try and divine their fate because fortune telling is closely tied to one of the two major historical events of this setting, namely the death of the god Arodin. There are many great lore videos out there for those who want all the details of this event, but the basic story is Arodin, the god of humanity and of prophecy, died under mysterious circumstances. And once he did, destiny, prophecy, and the divination school of magic all ceased to work as expected. Since then, fate is now no longer guaranteed, and this is where the Age of Lost Omens gets its name. Omens literally do not function in Golarion anymore. The overarching story of Stolen Fate explores the ramifications of this loss and what lengths some will go to in order to regain control over prophecy and fate once more. Also note that this campaign is a sequel to a Pathfinder 1st Edition adventure called The Harrowing, which is one of my all-time favorite adventures of any RPG system. Knowledge of that adventure is not needed to enjoy Stolen Fate, but those who have will feel a special connection to this story, especially during Book 2. And note that this adventure path assumes the players are not the same people as those heroes who took part in the harrowing adventure from 1st edition, but if they are in your game, then you will need to make a few minor tweaks in order to make it work. Book 1, The Choosing. Just prior to the official start of the adventure, each player shares the same mysterious vision, at the end of which they each awaken and realize they're holding a card in their hand that they have no memory of or awareness of how it came into their possession. Each card is a magical artifact that provides a special benefit to its bearer, and GMs are encouraged to try and match the gifted card to the character's concept in some way. The players also feel an inexplicable pull towards a game store called 3 Moves Ahead located in Absalom's Grand Bazaar. If the characters are not already traveling together, they will meet there, and that is when the adventure begins. The first chapter of Book 1 plays out as an investigation as the players try to uncover the meanings behind their cards and shared visions. This leads to an understanding that more of these cards are scattered about the bazaar and devils from hell are searching for them. Clues found at 3 Moves Ahead lead them to other storefronts where they must succeed at influence activities as described in the Game Mastery Guide to convince shopkeepers to provide additional clues. This investigation scenario eventually leads to a traveling salesman who deals in the buying and selling of Harrow cards, and has recently come into the possession of a rare and powerful card known as the Carnival that appears to belong to the same deck of cards as those cards that are now in the player's possession. This is a very powerful deck of cards known as the Deck of Destiny, which appears to have had its cards scattered far and wide, and someone is hellbent on gaining all of the Deck of Destiny's cards for themselves. Once the players gain the Carnival card, it reacts with the other cards in their possession and draws all of the players into another dimension known as the Harrow Court. Within the Harrow Court, the players learn of the locations of 6 more of the lost cards from the Deck of Destiny and magical portals open to those locations. The order in which players choose to search for the cards is entirely up to them, and each portal leads to a mini-adventure in a new location. These destinations are truly diverse and include the Deadshot lands of Arcadia, the Mwangi Expanse, Vudra, Tian Sha, and Cheliax. This section almost feels like playing through episodes of Quantum Leap as the players find themselves appearing in strange lands where they must befriend unfamiliar people to complete a task which then awards them one of the Deck of Destiny's lost cards. These tasks include helping an army smuggle weapons across a battlefield, fending off a Naga vampire siege, treating with centaurs, visiting an infernal opera, and of course slaying a dragon. Once those tasks are complete and the party has gained those cards, the portals within the Hero Court reset. During the final chapter of the book, the players are sent after 6 more cards, but this time, instead of that meaning 6 different cards in 6 different locations, they are instead sent to one location where all 6 cards may be found. This involves a trip to Varizia, where they align themselves with Shoanti scouts who are defending their territory from a band of invading mercenaries. If all goes well, the players will possess 18 cards from the Deck of Destiny by the end of Book 1. Book 2, The Destiny War. Book 2 builds on the concept of the Hero Court and the importance of collecting the scattered cards. The Hero Court is a demi-plane that is fairly large but almost completely empty. With each card the players recover and bring to the court, that demi-plane adapts and becomes more alive. The ways in which cards affect the Hero Court are detailed in the epitome entry of their descriptions. For example, the Midwife card adds a talented healer to this demi-plane, and the Inquisitor card adds a magic library. This is important as Book 2 begins with a demon invasion attacking the Hero Court, and its defenses may be bolstered with some of the cards. For example, if in Book 1 the players retrieve the Paladin card, then a knighthood will have formed within the Hero Court to help defend it. This demon attack plays out over several battle rounds. During each battle round, the players can choose to defend one of 3 invasion points, and success or failure is determined by their army's number of defense points. Once the battle concludes and the dust has settled, the portals within the Hero Court activate again. This time they connect to the ruins of Ko, which are the remains of a once flying city of the Shori Empire that fell to Galarian long ago. The exploration of Ko mostly plays out as a dungeon crawl with a variety of enemies and exotic locations that culminates in a battle with an ancient gargantuan-sized crystal dragon. In all, 5 more cards may be retrieved during the exploration of Ko. The next chapter of Book 2 is the most connected to the first edition adventure, The Harrowing. In that adventure, there exists a magical deck of harrowing cards called the Deck of Harrowed Tales. Just like how the Deck of Destiny in this campaign creates a pocket dimension called the Hero Court, the Deck of Harrowed Tales from the first edition adventure creates its own dimension called the Harrowed Realm. The harrowing adventure from first edition is sort of an Alice in Wonderland story that involves the players adventuring through a storybook reality. And now, in Stolen Fate, the heroes must venture to that same world in their search for the person responsible for the demon assault against their home base. What this means for current players is they will travel through a dark, nightmarish storybook world. And what this means for players who completed the harrowing in first edition is they will see what has become of their picturesque storybook world now that the Deck of Harrowed Tales is in the hands of someone sinister. They will revisit familiar locations and personalities that have twisted into dark nightmarish reflections as the world around them adjusts to the deck's new owner. Book 2 culminates with the players invading an enemy stronghold in battle with the figure responsible for the demon invasion. Book 3, Worst of All Possible Worlds. As this is the finale of the campaign, I will be a little more strict with spoilers for the remainder of this video, but there are a few key details to know about the third adventure. First, this module returns to the globe-trotting and treasure hunting format of Book 1. At this point, the player should have 30 or so cards in their possession, and to get the remaining cards, they will need to travel to several more exotic locations around Golarion. This time, they'll visit Aslant, a group of floating islands in the sky, the deserts of Casmaron, and a treacherous volcano. Each location will pose a challenge for the players and award hero cards for success, and these challenges range from the typical, like fighting or solving a puzzle, to the extravagant, like joining a group of mythical creatures on the pub crawl of destiny. Up to this point, the players most likely are not entirely aware of any danger posed by the Deck of Destiny. So far, their motivations have largely been based on solving the mystery of their shared vision, on treasure hunting, and getting payback for their new home being invaded. But in the remainder of Book 3, they come to learn who created the Deck of Destiny and for what purpose. These revelations will lead to a final confrontation where they will debate the very nature of destiny and judge whether free will or perfect order should rule. Battles will be fought, decisions will be made, and the literal destiny of Golarion will be decided. So there you have it, an overview of Stolen Fate for prospective GMs. I will be following up this video with another that shares my personal take and opinion on the campaign, so be sure to share any questions you may have in the comments, and I'll try to address those I can in that video. Just please keep in mind that I have only read the adventure path and have not run it, so I may not be in a position to answer some things such as encounter balance. And as always, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who supports me, whether that's by clicking the like button, subscribing to the Patreon, or subscribing to this channel. Thank you for all of your support, and with that, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.